will the way the Super Bowl look impact how the World Cup looks? We already talked about some of the musical performances that are going to be going on at the World Cup, some of the other things happening in and around, how it's definitely Americanized, and I like that word that you used at the bottom. It has been dressed up to be a show in a lot of ways. And so will the way that our favorite moment, our favorite game in American sports every year, will that impact how the World Cup
I wouldn't
looks?
say it's my favorite every year.
Well, for the most part, I'm
The
talking about just like
majority of
numbers
Americans.
overall. Yeah, I'm
Oh, it's the
talking
most
about
viewed
like
for sure.
talking about
Most
that's what I'm
money.
saying. Like the bubble fans, the people who don't really watch sports, but they're like, "Ooh, Super Bowl." Let me just yeah, exactly.
Like if
That's
Michigan
what I
beats
mean.
Ohio State in football every year, that's my favorite game
Oh
of the
yeah.
year.
Oh, that's I have even told I've told Emily like I don't be around me for that game. Every other day of the year you're fine, but just don't be around me for that one.
My
So,
my
yeah.
uncle told me during the Michigan State game this year that he moved in with his fiance, and this is the first time she's like experienced a Michigan State version of my uncle, and he goes, "I'm sitting in the room. Do not. This is not gonna." He goes, "This is not gonna end well for Michigan State. Michigan's probably gonna win by a lot, but just please, like, just don't come in the room.
Yep.
Don't come in the room." And
Yep.
no,
Yep.
I think that was great. But yeah, no, I like
But
saying Americanized, especially when it comes to soccer, because a lot of people get pissed off when you talk about soccer being Americanized because people just hate it being called soccer. Well, first off, they hate it being called soccer in general. When
just
I was
in
watching,
general, yeah.
again, if anyone's got any FIFA World Cup moments, make sure you send it to us on socials. Creating that list right now. And when I was watching a video on how to create these ideas, someone was talking about the 2010 World Cup where the England goalkeeper Robert Green drops the ball in the net, and U.S. ties it up, and they're talking about it. He goes, and this one Brit's like, "Oh, sorry, soccer." And like they all get ticked about it, and I find it funny because like you're so butthurt about a word that doesn't truly like affect you. Like it's just the word soccer. It's not anything bad, but no,
Yeah.
it's the most
Yeah.
viewed.
And I mean, we're
So
not the only ones too. So,
so I would say based on the way that everything's been going on leading up to the World Cup, that I think they're going to take a look at the Super Bowl. I think if you're FIFA and the FIFA officials and with everyone involved, I think you will look at look at the Super Bowl and think, how do we try to implement ideas and elements of this into the World Cup, whether that be the World Cup final, maybe the opening match of the World Cup, or maybe other things, because to me the Super Bowl is obviously the most viewed sporting event in the world. Whether that's your favorite sporting event of the year, that's up for you to decide. But if you're a true sports fan, I'm sure there's other things that you like if your team does well. But I mean, you think about it, you have the commercials. You have how much money that you pay for a 15-second, 30-second ad is crazy. And then you have everyone wanting buffer days the next day for it. Then you have the halftime performance, and then the trophy celebration. Because like when there's trophy celebrations in soccer and it's being awarded, we don't have a platform. Well, there is technically a platform in the middle of the field, but all they do is they go grab their medals, they sit with the team, and then they raise the trophy, and all the interviews and all that stuff happens after the fact. They don't have
mhm.
a Gush or Joel Klatt, excuse me, or Reese Davis at the podium asking Coach Signetti, Coach Belichick this and that. So
Mhm.
you wonder if that maybe is a possibility. But I think of all the extracurriculars that are happening around the Super Bowl, surrounding it in terms of the performances, all the different celebrities, and there's probably going to be a halftime performance at the World Cup final, which has
Yeah.
been rumored for a couple of months. But I think 100% they're going to look at this thing and be like, well, let's try to add this. Let's try to add this. And I think a halftime performance is going to be the first thing that they try to add.
Yeah. I mean, to answer that question, I think it already has impacted the way that the World Cup is going to look. I mean, the Super Bowl, this year's specific Super Bowl, yeah, maybe they look at it and they're like, okay, we could change this around, or maybe we could do this, or maybe we could try this, whatever that might look like. But no, it already has impacted the way it looked. FIFA has already done their homework, and they're like, this is what the American audience likes. This is what they get into. And you talked about the musical performances. they're going to have a Super Bowl style halftime show at the final on July the 19th at MetLife Stadium. They have a couple of featured musical performances. Robbie Williams, um, Andrea Bocelli, who's internationally renowned Village People. And there's a few others that they're going to bring on as well. So the entertainment component around the game, and creating almost like, again, a concert style look to it, and really dressing it up is already happening. It was already underway. And so I think it already has impacted the way that it is handled. Now, is that all a bad thing? No, not necessarily, because I like the effort that FIFA is putting into really dressing up these places and curating these hot spots for people to come and enjoy the game and enjoy everything else. But I like what you said about the media component of it, because those are the things that I wonder if that side is what changes the most. Obviously, the performances, the Super Bowl style, like those things it's probably going to be an annoyance for some people because they're used to seeing the game a certain way. But the media component, the media side of this talk is the side that I'm more curious to see. Is there, do we have more of an American look to like what we see on like a College Game Day? Are there going to be desks? Is it going to be like a production
they've
like
already been
that?
doing that. They've done that for the last
Yeah,
couple. They've done it the last like 4 World Cups.
yeah. So anyways, so
They're just in
I don't know
studio.
what. It's true, but it's just I don't know what the specific additions are going to look like. All I know is that FIFA has already done their homework. FIFA already knows what it is. They know what they're getting into here in the US. And frankly, I think they see a lot of really good money-making opportunities here in this country with everything that they do. And I think that greatly benefits USA Soccer. But I do think for the rest of the world, it's a little annoying. Like, okay, like we know why you're going to the US, right? It's the almighty dollar sign. And now how can you make even more money? Well, you get live musical performances. Well, you have, all these other things that you add as entertainment in and around, because that's really going to draw in a lot of the money as well. That's going to be a good portion of the money that you're bringing in, because even here in the United States, like you go to a professional sporting event, like there's always something going on around the event. Not everybody is
Yeah.
sitting there locked into the game. Like
People selling
especially like
T-shirts.
it's selling T-shirts, like they're doing the carnival rides, they're throwing the ball, they're knocking the pins over, they're over here doing this. It's like, because I went to Soldier Field, and I remember I told you that I went to a rugby match, Ireland and New Zealand, at Soldier Field. Dog, there was nothing else going on. Like, yeah, there was food and beer open, but like that's it. Like everybody was in there locked watching that game, like locked on the game. And that was so crazy for me to see, because you got all these Irish people and these people from New Zealand, and I'm like, nobody's not watching the match right now. We don't have like girls over here, like 4 of them all taking selfies, and then we got the corporate couple off to my left that's like talking about their stocks. It's like, what? Like this is crazy. This is crazy, and that's what I love so much about it. So that's going to be a real clash of cultures when it comes to the American game. But I also just feel like the base of fans in soccer, they don't do that. They don't do that. They're not used to the distractions.
Well, if you look at American sports fans and the European sports fans outside of college football, there's really
Or
everything is
college
kind of just an
basketball.
event. Like maybe the NFL.
Yeah.
But and if your team's that bad, everyone's just kind of there to just go to say they went to the game and talk to
Yeah.
people and
Just to
tailgate.
take pictures.
Also,
Yeah. For
I,
Instagram.
also the
Yeah.
tailgating I think is going to be interesting too, because they don't in England or overseas they don't tailgate. They just go to the pub and get wasted and then yell stuff
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
opposing
That's
team. But
true.
they're going to see
Yep.
people parked outside their cars and be like, what are these guys doing?
What the hell's going
And
on? You're drinking in the parking lot?
and yeah,
Yeah.
and just looking at a couple things online here, a lot of experts have said that the 2026 World Cup will cater to a younger, diverse audience, focusing on creating a Super Bowl style event.